At the 100 Millionaire Summit, we may even give you an opportunity to get access to the slide that Vinney uses to raise
Yes,
capital. We're
I would love that. I would
not
love
giving
that,
it away to
brother.
everybody, but by being in the room, there may be an opportunity for one lucky person, or maybe we'll open up a different type of opportunity while we're at the event.
Good morning. This is the Abundance Mindset Podcast. Sit back and relax as we discuss hot topics on how to handle and grow your business, self-development, and how positivity can bring profitability in your life. Here are your hosts, Vinney and Gualter.
Welcome back, alchemists. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Chopra. Vinney, welcome back, brother.
Oh, thank you, Gualter. Hey, I'm wearing some new glasses. I had ordered these. Everything is red. I don't know why. Little orange and red.
It's perspective. If you got the rose-colored glasses on, this is what everybody's been talking about.
I know I'm coming there to the summit. I've ordered 45 pairs of different glasses. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to give out some of those to some, people and so forth like that, and sign my books and all. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Today's topic is really timely because on my Mentoring the Youth program, which is a live show on Wednesdays, we talked about effective communication. And then last night, Gualter, we talked in my inner circle mastermind, same thing. We talked about how to talk to investors, how to present to them, what are their, think patterns and so forth. So I'm very excited about today's topic. Yeah.
So for everybody who doesn't know, this is Abundance Thursdays. We hang out with Vinney Chopra for about 20, 25 minutes, and we just ask him questions. What he goes into is one of the wealth principles. So this week is wealth principle 48, know thyself, and the power of personality assessments. So Vinney is a syndicator of real estate. He's managed and owned over $1.6 billion worth of real estate, and he's helped make a lot of investors.
That is with GP and LP. I do want to qualify that. It's GP and LP total. Right.
Absolutely.
Which is exciting. So, yes.
And I think that as you get a little bit older, Vinney, right, one day you'll be all on the LP side, but for many, many years, you've done a lot of GP work. You've really carried the torch here.
That's true, though. I agree with you totally. I don't know when I'll retire, but doesn't seem like.
It doesn't seem like it right now. You just opened the two funds. You got the $100 million funds, one for hospitality, one for residential assisted living. So you were talking to your investors last night about communication. So it's weird that Wealth Principle 48 is coming up. We're talking about knowing thyself. How does knowing yourself also impact talking to other people? How does that relate?
It's amazing. It's totally amazing. Gualter, it's effective communication.
And actually, before you give us all the value, for people listening, if you have not gotten the money that you're looking for, if you haven't gotten the deals you're looking for, if you haven't built the company that you're looking to build, it's probably because you're not communicating properly with the people who have everything you're looking for, whether it's the work, the money, or the asset. So what we're going to dive into today is actually how to know yourself, and then later on, personality assessments, how to identify and read another person so you can really get out of them the value that you both are looking to get from them. So that being said, Vinney, let's dive in, brother.
So true. Again, it all depends on the avatar. We talk about who are your customers, who are your investors, and, even the brokers and the attorneys that I deal with, right? Each one, every single person has their own personality. So it's hard for us to really ask them to do a personality test, but we need to understand as we talk to them, their demeanor, their eye inflection, their voice inflection, what kind of questions they're asking us. That tells us if that's analytical person or it's more like a quick, persuasive person, personality, we call it. I know DIC SC is a personality test that we do for when we are getting into hiring team members and so forth like that, for employment reasons. And the other one is the Briggs breaks my eyes. That's another one, very nice one. But I think when we are dealing with personalities in my business and a lot of entrepreneurs where they are dealing with other side, we have to effectively communicate what we are trying to accomplish, have questions ready so that they can answer, and that will determine whether we should be able to, change our style. Because we say to close anybody or sell to anybody or communicate to anybody, we need to mirror them. The word is mirroring. So we need to mirror their personality so that they feel comfortable. See, the problem is if somebody's like very short and persuasive, and we come out and give detailed PowerPoint, 85 slides, we lost them.
We lost them.
And that's what we talked about inner circle last night in my master coaching, which I coached for 1.5 hours. We said, how could we really make sure that our slide deck is gone from 85 to maybe 25, drop 60, or even we talked about with doctors, doctors don't have time, and that's what lots and lots of syndicators are going after doctors. I have lots of doctors in my database and the people who have worked with me, and, they make good money, but then also they want to save on taxes and like everybody, right? So we talked about last night, we should be short and simple because doctors don't have time. They just don't. They go to the nitty-gritty quickly. You share with them the salient points, like we're going to design the new PowerPoints for them, and they're going to be talking about first preservation of fund. That is very, very important in any investor's mind. How would I preserve? And then discuss syndication upfront, the legality and how the PPM, all these legal structure will work in their favor to make sure that they are on the title of the property, not the obligation, not on the loan. So having simplified version of a couple of slides and tax advantages. Wow. So I covered maybe 3 things in just 2-3 slides. And that's what is important: preservation of capital. Secondly, the syndication, the legal structure and everything. They are on the title, not the obligation. And the third is the tax advantages due to cost segregation. We talk a lot about that, where we are able to depreciate the property quickly first year of possessing it. And that will be minus K1 on their K1 they get next year. Of course, that's going to drop the sales price or purchase price down below, and then you are able to capture it when we sell and so on, right? The fourth thing we talked about was how do we give their money return on their capital. One is return of capital, which is the preservation, and they get their investment back after 3 to 5, 7 years. But how are we going to make the profits for them, cash flow we call it, to pay them quarterly? So that should be the fourth part of the presentation. Because once they understand and make sure, and let them ask questions. See, that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of us, we have so much we know that we want to just just give it to them. And they say, hold on, I don't know what you're saying. So that is what the personality has to come in, so that we slow down, they slow down, they get a little faster, we get a little faster. So it's totally mirroring it, And then, of course, showing the assumptions. What's in the mind of the investor is what are you assuming? The rent growth and the principal pay down and the interest rate and the cap rates and all those, and how you're going to put your business plan into play so that we can increase the rents and how it's going to take and so forth, right? So those things should be covered with the smaller number of slides. That's the key right there. And then you have to sell yourself. See, as you saw, I was educating the investor through the whole process. They will ask you, what's your track record? Yes, be prepared with your track record, little or big or medium size, whatever you have, but try to put that together in a slide or two, who you are affiliated with, who is the syndication attorney, if they let you, talk about them, who is your real estate attorney, who is your lending group, what's their name, their pictures, because all that is your team and yourself and your accounting and all that, right? And then your bio, what you have done and how you're going to be able to, design everything in their comfort level. See, that's the thing. Comfort level is very big. Risk level and comfort level are two things. So the investors will, by asking questions, we will be able to figure it out what's important to them. So by asking questions, we will figure it out, if they have invested in other syndications or they are into stock market only or mutual funds and things like that.
Wow, Vinney, in the first 4 minutes, you just taught every investor who's listening to this how to run a presentation, to speak about a deal, to gauge interest if somebody's interested in investing with you. And that is literally, you put it in like a 6-slide presentation or 7 or 8 slide presentation with a bio and about your team, which is fantastic. There's too many people who are, one, uncomfortable to get on stage. Two, when they do get on stage, it's 100 slides and it's boring stuff. And then the other one was talking way too much and not giving the room the opportunity to ask their own questions. How do you gauge whether, because you don't just do this one-on-one anymore, like you also do this to large rooms and groups of investors and hedge funds. How do you gauge with the balance of some people are really technical, they want all that extra information, and then some people, they're already ready to invest with you. They're just, look, I just need to hear a couple of the bullet points and then I'm ready to go. How do you know who's who and how do you balance that out so everybody feels listened to?
Good point. Very, very good point. Since we are talking about personalities, I kind of took the doctors, medical profession first, maybe entrepreneurs who are high drivers, profile. They will be short and sweet also. So now there is analytical, financial, engineer, research people. They need longer deck. So we have a shorter deck for the, match the personality of our investors who need shorter decks. And there is the detailed deck also, which we should be able to, and even when we do in the webinars, which we will be doing now, more, is to share with the audience, who are on the webinar, that if you want more details, we do have a bigger deck also. Exactly.
This way you're handling, because it's true that the person who's more analytical will wait longer. You have their attention much longer. They could come back a second time. They'll stay on the call longer. Whereas those high D personalities or high A action type personalities, busy entrepreneurs, the salespeople or the doctors, they're going to want to be in and out of this. They made their decision in the first 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and they're done. So how do you capture those relationships and how do you move everybody else to either this longer version of the call or to the second call?
Good point. Very, very good point. I think it all depends also how you advertise, to who you advertise. So you are trying to put your funnels together for doctors, for attorneys, for CEOs of companies. I'm thinking businesses, solopreneurs or entrepreneurship. So those will be the shorter deck people. Then there'll be a lot of people who are retired, and then engineers and other profiles, which I think will be more analytical. Financial people will be more analytical. So they will be the ones that we bring them into a different seminar, or we present the shorter one to everybody and then say, if you like a little bit more, then, we can let the first part go. If you've gotten everything that you needed, then we can go longer and show more slides to the more analytical people.
I love how this is
the beauty.
It's very important.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because we are there to serve to everybody. I say that always. We have our emphasis should be number one. Gold are our investors, number one. Number two, our residents who live in the apartments or commercial buildings and hotels and all that. They're number two, gold, our investors. And then we come to our residents. Then come our team players, the brokers, the attorneys and lenders, everybody. They are very, very special to us. They are gold. Then contractors are gold. Property management team is very, very big gold, because you need to have a great, solid team of management yourself. Like we used to have 158 people.
Hi, I'm Vinney Chopra. I'm a real estate investor, commercial real estate investor, motivational speaker, author of 3 books, and also have an academy where I teach about how to raise money and how to invest in commercial real estate. So if you would like to find out more about it, please DM me or email me or go to vinneychopra.com, and you can invest also if you're accredited investors or sophisticated investors to get the tax savings and passive incomes. That is also my forte.
In the team, every 2 weeks, payroll, every 2 weeks, never missed for 12 years, 15 years. But now we take third party and they manage it for us. So we manage them, they manage the asset. So we don't have the hassle of hiring and firing and make sure day-to-day operations are well taken care of by the personnel at each property and so on. So I think, again, to capsulize everything, we need to mirror, we need to find out who the audience is. So even if we are talking to in a webinar, it's cold. Very first time people are coming in, let them chat and then ask them, by the way, how many of you are doctors? If you don't mind, raise your hand. That's okay. And then how many engineers are here? And how many, yeah, exactly. That way you could say, well, majority of the people, so, we'll be covering kind of like the whole slide. You could actually have same long slide deck, but you can hide the slides, see?
Skip through them.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We're going to skip ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And then other thing I want to really mention to everybody, the reason I have gotten so many loyal investors, because when I did one-on-ones on Zoom, Skype, GoToMeeting, you name it, I've used all these, and I would record it. I'll ask the permission. I'll ask the, investor permission. Is it okay if I record it? Because I'll be covering some really good information, educational and case studies and all. And I would love to give you a link back so that you could share it with your spouse or uncle, aunt, pastor, attorney, CPA. It's a great hack. It's a wonderful hack, because why are we worried about? If we are sharing that information, it would be fabulous if we gave them a link, save it in your Dropbox under their name, and then you give them the link so that they could look through it and all that. And if they happily got involved with you, then you could delete it or something, or archive, or move it to a different folder if they didn't decide to do anything like that, right? So it's a great thing to do that, because they would be able to relive the whole presentation again. See, the biggest thing is investors will give you $50,000, $25,000, or $100,000 or $500 or $1 million, because they need to trust you.
Yeah.
They need to see that you are a professional, that you're a business, you're not just side hustle, because they are giving their money, hard-earned money in your hands. And you're going to be making decisions daily, weekly, monthly to safeguard that money through syndication. And, bringing that return of capital, the preservation we talked about, return off capital and on capital.
So we've got the summit coming up, and I think one of the things that we do is really cool. It's different from other events. Is we will be talking about disc profiling. We will be talking about personality tests. We'll actually be profiling everybody in the room together at the same time. They'll be wearing badges. I don't want to give too much of it away, but you'll actually be able to see a person for the first time in your life. They'll have a badge on them that tells you how to communicate. So we actually get this practice live in person. I want to go back to something that because you're so good at this. You don't even think about it. But what is your profile? Like when you think of you as the investor, are you more analytical? Do you find yourself to be more of a interaction-based person? And then because of who you are, how do you have to change when you're with somebody? I know you just do it automatically now, but at some point it must have been work for you to change for the room that you were in front of.
You're so right about it. Very, very good question, really, Gualter. I'm a driver as well as I'm also analytical. I love being an engineer. I just love numbers. I love Excel worksheets. I love formulas, and they come very natural to me, right? I'm a driver because I'm results oriented more. And, effective communication has to be with speaking slowly, which I have to work on it. My accent is still there, but with enthusiasm. See, that's the other part. I would highly recommend everybody listening to us. It's not the slide deck that's going to really communicate. It's not, giving them all the question answers, but it's driving your point across and educating the investors in great things that they don't know. The best way to sell is through third party. We always know that. And the best way to sell or close anybody is overcoming objections before they come up. Those are the two golden rules of life, of sales and marketing. Cover the objections. If some investors are giving you same objection, same, it means that's on their mind. And let's handle that right up front. Let's handle it in the first slide, what their apprehensions are, what their risk profiles are, and put them at ease. That's the other part, I've learned it over 45 years of sales and marketing career. Never put them on a spot. You say, you know what? I'll be covering lots of great information with you, but it'll be totally on you. It's not a big decision or anything. If you like it, we could work together. If you don't, you might find this information helpful and you might pass it on to somebody else. Wow, look at that. Wow. You gave them a no right up front. It's good to give that room to say no to us. Don't say maybe. That's the other thing I remember many times, in my past life. We say, the decision making will be so simple. It's not like buying a house or buying a car or anything like that. Not that huge, but it's a very simple decision. But please do, if I ask you one thing, Gualter, when I cover my presentation, could you say yes or no? But please don't say maybe.
Set the context right at the beginning of the call.
And then give them a way out. You say, you know what, I'll be covering a lot of good stuff and I'll be recording and give you a link. And, maybe this may not be the right time for you for what I'm discussing, but maybe it will be good in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. We are here. We have great many opportunities in commercial investing. So, I'm very excited to meet with you today. And let's get into it, and I put together a small PowerPoint presentation. And as a matter of fact, I'll be going over those and then be recording so that you could kind of, share it with your family, with your, pastor, with your CPA, with your attorney. I always say that. And if the husband and wife are not there and they're decision makers, this hack works very well, because they'll be able to sit out, and look at the whole presentation. And if you're showing them some videos and all that, I know some of my investors lately have said, oh, I'm watching on my big projection TV, our presentation. Look at that with my wife and children and so on. So it just helps to build the credibility. It's one thing to just say, And I hate when people say, you know what, I'm talking to them. See, talking is not going to communicate the same way. Effective communication is through video,
Yep.
through seeing each other and getting the signals from their apprehension or their eyes, looking into their eye and their gesture. And are they looking around, rather than, and then where they are sitting and having them to really sit in front of their laptop so that it's not on the iPhone and the Android because the screen is so small. The slides are so small, they can't even see anything.
And it's certainly not when they're driving, right? There's some real steps you go through. This brings me to the end because we are running out of time on you. And I want to hit this one because it's so important. One, we talked about the value. So for somebody who's looking to raise capital and have these conversations at the level that you do, first, we talked about understanding personalities of investors. We talked about the fast investor, the busy investor, entrepreneur, and then the analytical one. And then we shifted into how important it is for you to understand yourself and be able to transfer your energy to match theirs. But this third question I have is how well prepared are you, right? These slides, you're not writing them while you're talking to the room. You've actually thought out what they might, these objections, you're talking about handling them before they even come out of their mouths, which means you've done studying in advance, you've tested in advance, and you've built this PowerPoint in advance of being in that room. How does that happen?
Excellent. Very good point again. You bet. You got to take time in preparing the slides, the visuals, the bold letters. Very less is more. I say that because you don't want to write out because they cannot read small print at all. You want to expand on it. You want to write the bullet points with visuals, with pictures. Get a Fiverr or Upwork, somebody, you write the wording of it, and then they could take graphics and put it up for you for $50, $60. It's so easy. But once you have that slide deck, you just keep on changing it. See, once it's done, then you can add few questions, you could remove some slides. So it's very professional way to, communicate and educate the investors, I say.
I love that. Vinny. That was so fast, concise. You're basically simplified the concept of you got to practice. You've got to think about this. You should get advice from a mentor. You should look at somebody else's PowerPoint. You should do the research on what's already working, what's something that has worked in the past. And then don't try to recreate this thing on your own. Follow a model that exists. You can even go into Canva, right? Like Canva has templated accounts for syndicators, for real estate investors, for investors raising funds. Just thinking that right now. And at the 100 Millionaire Summit, we may even give you an opportunity to get access to the slide that Vinny uses to raise capital.
I would love that.
We're not giving it away to everybody, but by being in the room, there may be an opportunity for one lucky person, or maybe we'll open up a different type of opportunity while we're at the event. So for everybody who is coming, 100 Millionaire Summit is November 3rd to the 5th in Orlando, Florida. For those of you who are on the fence about getting your hotel room block, there are only about 30 nights left. So that room block, once it's gone, then you're paying full price or you're having to get an Airbnb. My strong suggestion is be in the hotel because these are long days and we want you to just walk right to your bedroom, get your rest, and then come back into the room the next day. Vinny will be there for the VIP.
2 days for VIP dinner that evening, and I'll be also there 2 days on 3rd and the 4th. I'm very excited, brother.
So this is a huge deal. So definitely make sure that you show up on time, show up early. Like Vinny always says, show up early, leave late, show up with high levels of energy because positivity brings profitability. If you haven't already read his book, now's a good time to get it because it's being released again, the new version.
Yes. I know we are launching big time and we'll be dropping the price from $24.95 to 99 cents that day. November 3rd, only for Alchemist Nation. So we'll be having a QR code on the screen and everybody, and then I'll have physical copies. My publisher is coming, as I was mentioning. So we'll be doing book signing and all that too. So no, it'll be fantastic. I hope everybody, I'll appeal to you. It's not the expense. See, the biggest thing is going to a convention, you will get 100-fold money back. It's an investment because so many great people will be millionaires over there. Just one contact, just one conversation can bring great dividends to your business, and so many great ideas will be shared with so many great speakers. So good luck. Yeah.
This is the truth. So this is every Thursday, Abundance Thursdays with Vinney Chopra. We hang out, we go through one of the wealth principles, we get a billionaire's perspective. I know Vinny's super humble, but well, I'll tell you, Vinny, when I owned my first $1 million, my first $1 million of property, I wasn't a millionaire, by your standards, but I did own $1 million of assets. And even though I had a partner on that was more than I'd ever owned in my life. So, so it's very impressive what you've accomplished, what you're going to accomplish. You continue to acquire more with really good partners who do a lot of the work for you. So you being in the room is just, it's really exciting for us.
Thank you.
Those signing in, this is every Thursday at 9 a.m. PST on the West Coast and 12 p.m. EST on the East Coast. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week.
I will say one thing, we are leaving for Sicily and Malta next week. So next Thursday, I'll see how the schedules work. We'll WhatsApp each other and love to see if I could even do it. I'll have to see in Sicily what's the time zone and all that, brother. So it'll be exciting. I know my mentoring the youth co-sponsors and my partners also said, Vinny, it'll be great to have you broadcast live from, the location. I'll see. Depends, where my family is and so on. Thank you, brother.
We won't hold you to it, but if you're having tea or you're having dinner, just it's okay. We understand, but we love you, brother. Thank you so much, Vinny. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. God bless.
Cheers.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey there! The upcoming episode is scheduled for Thursday. We appreciate your viewership of the Abundance Mindset Show. Tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern on various social media platforms hosted by Vinney Chopra and Gualter Amarelo. Don't forget to subscribe, share your comments, and leave a 5-star review. Thank you for your support.